Vampires bring it out in me. And so she finds herself outside more and more alone in the gardens with the phantom nocturnes that seem to taunt her further and further. Of all the thrills a vampire has, that is maybe the most exciting of all. Would you listen to those wolves? And no, I don't wish to become a drinker of plasma. He wonders again, licking his slightly parched lips. Art in red, delightful, passionate red. Ink. One choice will be inspiring and romantic. The other will be sad but delicious. A vampire's deepest fear. Welcome back, fellow adventurer. My quarters grow warm here as the blizzard of manic news cycles roar and rage without. Listen to those early November winds a-howlin'. In here, the candles are lit and peaceful, and the fireside crackles quietly like the gentle excitement in the air. Yes, I'm a bit giddy myself. And let's have a hint of cider or warm tea or whatever you wish to ease in the ghostly merriment. Vampires bring it out in me. They always have, since my early years in the burgeoning goth land of the 1990s. It was a different scene back then. It was less commodified, less hot topic-ified, less feminized, I think, more of a balanced warrior versus sorceress aesthetic. It wasn't all witchy and soy-boyed out. It was more romantic. Well, nevertheless, the subculture of Coppola's Dracula, Anne Rice, and the Vampire Masquerade left an indelible mark upon my dark heart, and I am still haunted by those creatures each year. This last October, I whimsically skipped the drawing and painting with black ink one night, and I decided to play with red ink. And my trusty Sumi brush, your ghost storyteller got a vampire with spellbound princess, inspired, iconic, and cliché in the most delightful genre way possible. So it went that title wrote itself a story of status, the night, loneliness, and hidden fears. I had a blast discovering this crimson prince of darkness, and now I have a story for you. There's something sad about the epochal apathy of the immortals versus the pressure of too little time for us, the mere humans. And no, I am not envious of vampires. And no, I don't wish to become a drinker of plasma. So all of you fiends outside my study window, I can hear you. Don't even think about turning me. Well, I will only touch their world and minds by exploring red. Art in red, delightful, passionate red. Ink. So tonight I invite you to forget your woes again and perhaps discover some new ones. A vampire's deepest fear. The baying of wolves sends a shiver up through any spine, and here tonight is the great moon of killers, Hunter's moon. How perfect that it rises in October, yes? Even Diana herself is at home here, as she is the goddess of the hunt. There is no doubt that she celebrates all predators on this evening, as if shining forth her light to the creatures of the night, saying, "Go, my children, hunt, kill, devour. This is our time. the time of the hunters. There is nothing like it, thinks the Crimson Prince. The tastes and sounds of this night could stir the blood of anyone. The silver light inspired awe in the unreal illumination of grass blades, branches, the outline of the owl aloft, and, of course, the satin of her dress. His prey is always well dressed. As he is a predator with standards, he loves them that way. He looked his latest quarry over and thought to himself, the only thing that gown was missing was a smattering of red off to one side of the lace and tulle near the shoulder. From that neck. Soon, he murmured. It is wonderful how royalty can have such sumptuous gardens and the requisite sleep-deprived young princess to go along with them. Brilliant. Watch her there alone in her perfumed garden at night. She can't help her curious self. Then you just draw her close to you. The poor thing will have no idea what is pulling her away from the castle. Easy snatching, really. Would you listen to those wolves? And the crickets are chiming in. Any minute now, the toad. Oh, he sounds like mere croaking to the human ear. Not so the toad. He is the sound of doom, ticking away. But she cannot hear that. That is why she is the prey. There is always that night after a party when our latest hapless heroine is still so excited by the festivities that she doesn't want to remove her fancy dress and retire to her chambers. Not just yet, she thinks, and the poor thing is no doubt disappointed that despite her hopes, she did not meet the mysterious suitor who would have removed her from the clutches of her bodice in some secret spell of manly command in the eyes. No such scandal happened, and she is trying to get all she can out of the night, to squeeze every last drop from it. And so she finds herself outside more and more alone in the gardens with the phantom nocturnes that seem to taunt her further and further out there. Come out and play with us, they beckon. It is delightful drawing his mouse thus closer and closer to him. He could just say, come, and she would. But it is more fun to entice her with whispers that change directions, frustrating her mind, confusing her, making her young skin flush with sweet rage. Under normal circumstances, he has to play the patient vampire. He has to charm her into inviting him inside to her boudoir and blah, blah. Ah, not so out here. As soon as he saw her this night, he knew she would love the music, his whispers. She would come out to the garden to drink up the symphony of sounds with thirsty tears. He was going to raise up this night's orchestra for her, within her. It wasn't only a symphony of sounds. It was also one of silence, different silences, the serene ones and the unbearable ones. Imagine walking through the sounds of the night and then they suddenly stop. A shiver comes through her. Then all at once they sound again, as loud as ever, or with a slow fade in. She is moved by it one time and scared another. He studies the soft flesh and the curve of her figure. She is like his violin, giving him the sounds he hungers for. Ah, all these sounds swirling around him. Exquisite synergy, elegant and wondrous. Not like the cacophony of the daytime. Moonlight can be the most alluring light there is. There is an art to it. The way she takes the sun and reflects his light to all the right places. The right places. Like the way it falls upon that vein rising from the sleepless princess' neck. It is calling out to him like the drumbeat of her heart. His tongue rushes out to lick his lips. And moonlight has its own music, if you have the nocturne's ear. Hush, cellos and bass and the finer strings. A far-off cat yowls, owls in the trees, howls in the distance. The chorus of crickets, the rhythms of her pumping blood. The crescendo of night has many players. As its dark conductor, he will add her delicious sounds to it. And what might those delightful sounds be? Will they come as the moan of her surrender? The gasp of her terror, the singing of her heart, or perhaps the breath of her slowed life in a faint? He wonders again, licking his slightly parched lips. When the hunter moon rose, he felt the vitality of a 50-hour slumber. He watches her sleep now in the sudden swoon his eyes inflicted upon her. And he thinks, how strange to awaken as he had done a century ago and to observe such innocence of a young morsel who is asleep in every way, sleepwalking through her life in the day with stupid parties and vacuous friends, and always spoiled and beautiful and bored. Indeed, humans have more time in the day than they know what to do with. Ah, not so the immortals. It's about 8 hours or so, give or take, till the cock crows. That is all the time needed to feed and enjoy the night and miss the sun. Curses, but never mind that. She will wake again in the literal sense, yes, and yet she will still be asleep, deaf to the nocturne's symphony. There was a time when he would look upon such beauty and decide to mate instantly. But an immortal learns to be choosy with such commitment. Alas, the years stole the last innocence from him. He now appreciates her for the morsel she is. Nothing more. Nothing more. Is that really true? Well, he will penetrate her eyes with his, then he will ask her to choose. Does she desire death and rebirth, where she rises up beautiful forever and yet always dead inside and out, but still never again bored? Or would she rather die one death and go to God, never knowing the world of the night? That is how a salesman pitches evil immortality to such a spoiled lamb, bored or not. If she answers yes to vampirism, he will pluck her soul as he has already deemed her ripe with the potential of what he calls that balance of student and predator. He watches and listens to the beating heart in her bosom. Very soon, he would be putting his big question to her. She will either be his companion, child, sire, or merely the entree par excellence, and he will squeeze her for every drop. One choice will be inspiring and romantic. The other will be sad but delicious. And he listens to his symphony building and building. There is nothing like watching her eyes as she chooses her fate. Of all the thrills a vampire has, that is maybe the most exciting of all. He is on edge for a particular and unique reason. There is an ugly truth here. Sometimes his victim is strong enough to decide to die and go to heaven. The vampire fills with rage and envy, and he is reminded of his regret at not having made that similar choice when it was his turn, and so wanders the earth like an old-aged party-goer, trying to convince himself he is still young and master of his destiny, only to keep learning that this is not so. A vampire's deepest fear. Most of the vampire's infinite life is to avoid this pathetic reminder. It stings him as any kind of daylight does, and he curses God anew. Who knows? Maybe he will acquire her after all, thus keeping away the daylight of reality once again. For now. I hope you enjoyed this exploration into the supernatural with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I'm sure you have some good ones. And you can also experience more of my Ghost in the Gaslight art project over at ghostinthegaslight.com or at the links below. Sign up to my Inbox of Curiosities email list. There is lots to get acquainted with. You'll also be eligible to win things every month. There's more ghostly thoughts and story time and rememory over at the Substack as well. Be sure to smash that like button, and I look forward to seeing you again.